Chosen ones, you have been the target of a high-level cult that views you as their biggest danger. Every bit of old magic they threw at you backfired with terrible intensity. So right now, at this very now, there's a tremendous loss. We are not referring to amateur crystal-playing practitioners. For millennia, members of the 33 secret organization have dominated governments, influenced bloodlines, and exercised evil power. Until you, these individuals have never failed. Monarchs have been destroyed by the binding rites they unleashed. Empires have been overthrown by the evil forces they deployed. They used the most powerful magic they had, the deepest secrets from grimoires that most occultists aren't even aware exist. And you're still standing, not just making it through, but flourishing. Since the creatures they sent to kill you turned around and took possession of them instead. One of their top-ranked members is now going through complete insanity, seeing shadows, hearing voices, and unraveling in real time. This Mason's mental breakdown is just the first step toward their total collapse. And what you're going to learn will explain why they targeted you and how your DNA outranks their whole system. This is the real-time manifestation of cosmic justice. And the trigger they didn't anticipate is you. Allow me to give you a glimpse of what has been going on behind the scenes. One group is like ghosts, moving through high society. They seem to have respectable positions. The true labor of governmental officials, affluent business people, Mason ring wearers, and country club members takes place in subterranean rooms where they carry out rites that most people would consider impossible, where they deal in power structures that governments pretend don't exist and energies that science hasn't yet identified. These Ouija board players aren't amateurs. These 33 practitioners have studied all the old texts, taken relics from prehistoric civilizations, and mastered the use of spiritual powers as weapons that would make medieval wizards seem like kids with toy wands. And you simply vanquish their whole bloodline's cumulative magical knowledge without even trying. There's something important you need to know immediately. You weren't doing anything spectacular when they first spotted you. You weren't brandishing sage or engaging in counter rituals. Even though you were just alive, your energy signature began to shine brightly on their radar. These practitioners have spent ages attempting to synthesize the frequencies carried by your ancestors, the ancient ones whose DNA runs through your blood. Egyptian ancestries, bloodlines that go back to a period when people had a better understanding of awareness than we have now. You're not just a random individual caught in the crossfire. You possess knowledge that is triggered at the appropriate moment, spiritual intelligence encoded into your cells and genetic memory. And whether you were prepared or not, your moment arrived. These folks assumed you would fold right away when they made their first move. First, they dispatched bound spirits. Such organizations have been used to stifle whistleblowers and manipulate lawmakers. You experience anxiety, disconnection, and a sense of losing control of reality due to demonic frequencies that are intended to take over your neurological system. They wanted you to question yourself, see things, and hear voices. Traditional strategies. When someone's mental base is undermined, they are more susceptible to manipulation or elimination. However, something occurred that they failed to account for. They were unable to adhere to you, whether you were aware of it or not. Your energy field was working at a frequency that, like water and oil, resisted their darkness. Even though you may have felt the strain and weight of spiritual assaults on your mind, you remained resilient. Your thoughts remained in control. Their whole network was rocked by that one moment. Because terror makes people careless, even when they're meant to be specialists, they escalated. They began using earth magic on your body, focusing on your bones and organs in an effort to bring about illness and persistent pain. Water magic on your money, in an effort to stifle all of your sources of wealth. And fire magic in your relationships, sowing the seeds of distrust and strife. Everything was thrown at you. The majority of occultists are unaware of the existence of ancient rituals taken from grimoires. We won't even discuss the sacrifices necessary for these rituals here. The kind of sinister operations that have brought down monarchs and wiped out whole civilizations. Do you know what took place? You become more powerful. It felt like every strike they launched triggered a deeper part of you. Like your spirit knew just how to counter their actions without you even trying, since it recalled conflicts from lifetimes past. At this point, their anxiety became an obsession, and things started to become pretty fascinating. They made a crucial error with one of them, a senior practitioner with millions in the bank and links to government agencies. This individual made the decision to use direct love magic on you. Not the compulsive, possessive kind that will turn you into a puppet. However, even black magic has its own set of rules. One of those principles is that you have no influence over things that are spiritually superior to you. This practitioner is practically going insane as a result of the spell's powerful backlash. Instead, the same things they sent to bind you twisted around and grab hold of them. They are now going about in the same state of insanity they attempted to instill in you, hearing voices and seeing shadows. For individuals such as these, karma doesn't just knock on the door. It moves in permanently and kicks it down. Right now, their whole company is in disarray, and this section must be heard clearly. These aren't only arbitrary assaults by envious people. For many centuries, this whole network has been using human energy. They know something that most others never do. Energy is money. It is possible to harvest the human life force, especially from youngsters and those with pure spiritual signatures, and utilize it to prolong life, hold on to power, and power rituals that alter reality itself. This explains why some kids vanish and are never seen again. Why certain families seem to have advantages that are not natural. Why some powerful individuals seem to have not aged in decades. Like vampires, they have been consuming the collective human energy. And to enable this harvesting while keeping the general public totally in the dark, they have established whole legal, medical, and governmental institutions. You are more than a mere target. You are meant to serve as a resource. However, they are unable to take from you or duplicate it by any ritual. Promote this video so that additional people who are selected like you may discover it if its message resonates with you. Your DNA has ancient intellect that is thousands of years older than their hidden organizations. It wasn't your forefathers' intention to use black magic to control others. They were aware of unified awareness, how to cooperate with global forces instead of opposing them, how to draw heavenly energy without enslaving demons or offering blood sacrifices. Instead of being in books you read, this information is stored in your cells and is triggered when you need it most. Your awareness instinctively activated defensive mechanisms you were unaware you possessed when they attempted to assault your thoughts. Your third eye, which is linked to a source they lost access to years ago when they took the left-hand route, cleared itself when they attempted to block your spiritual sight. Right now, their whole structure is about to have a tower moment. They are on the verge of losing all they have based on deception, deceit, identity theft, and sinister agreements. The crazy thing is that they are aware that you are the cause. Their spell work is disrupted by your sheer presence and frequency as you walk about this globe. Not because you're attempting to expose them, though it may happen as a byproduct. For black magic, you seem to be a walking electromagnetic pulse. The illusion they require to keep control is destroyed only by you being in charge, living in your truth and acting from your true frequency. They wanted you removed for this reason, so frantically. For this reason, they turned to initiation when elimination failed. They seek to enlist you, turn you to their cause, and persuade you to utilize your influence for their ends if they are unable to eliminate you. Let me explain exactly what's going on with that offer of initiation. These folks are afraid. Being the most powerful, the most informed, and the unseen rulers of reality is the foundation of their whole identity. And you arrived, very likely without intending to, and outranked them without making an effort. You defeated binding spells that had imprisoned true mystics for ages. They regarded you as a spiritual warrior, since you repelled curses that would have devastated them. And you accomplished it while leading a normal life, perhaps dealing with everyday issues, and perhaps even harboring self-doubt throughout. It's not the theatrical darkness they rehearse. That's what real power looks like. It's an organic divine connection that flows through you because of who you are at the soul level, not the rituals that need pain to work. That is what they want. It has never been theirs, because they're not linked to their source. Their power constantly has to be taken from others. Have you noticed that others around you have been having some odd experiences lately? Unexpected personality shifts, inexplicable sadness or rage, and the betrayal of those you trusted without apparent cause. It wasn't a random act. These practitioners were attempting to isolate you by enlisting members of your social circle and sending entities to take over your friends and relatives. Traditional cult strategies enhanced by supernatural components. They would ruin your support network and watch you fall apart from loneliness if they couldn't reach you directly. You didn't collapse, however. Something inside you remained steady, even though you may have experienced the anguish of betrayal and the perplexity of seeing others shift. A part of you refused to accept this as fact because you knew it was an assault. It is impossible to provide such insight or spiritual immunity to gaslighting. That is lifelong knowledge gained from battling evil powers. In the spiritual world, a wealth transfer is now taking place. They're redistributing all they took. Divine justice is recalling all of the energy they extracted via deceit and sinister ritual. And can you guess where a significant amount of that recovered electricity is going? Straight to you, straight to the individuals they attempted to ruin. It's not a metaphor. This will show up to you in concrete ways. Opportunities to make money that seem to come out of nowhere. Doors that were previously welded shut are opening. You are drawn to people and resources with seamless synchronicity. Cosmic restitution is what this is. The universe does more than just thwart your strikes. It overcompensates. It fills your cup to overflowing with gift after boon, until your life is a real example of how, given enough time, light always triumphs over darkness. Let's now discuss why you were selected for this particular task. Agreements were formed before you were ever born, before you breathed your first breath in this plane. Divine contracts with the greatest powers of creation, not the type that evil practitioners create with demons. You offered to do this. I know that seems ridiculous, but bear with me. Your soul examined the timeline and saw that this was the precise point in history when corruption would reach its height and these hidden organizations would have mankind in their grip. When there would be widespread child trafficking and a tremendous inversion of the reality. And your soul said, yes. Yes, I'll go in. Yes, I'll carry the frequency needed to disrupt their systems. Yes, I'll be the catalyst, even if it means facing attacks that would break most people. You're not a victim of their attention. You're a warrior who drew their fire on purpose. The superpowers you have aren't what movies taught you to expect. Your greatest weapon is your mind, the way you can observe reality and shift it through consciousness alone. The observer effect isn't just quantum physics jargon. It's describing what you do naturally. You enter a space and the atmosphere changes. You focus on a problem and solutions appear. You think about someone and they text you. That's not coincidence. That's your consciousness reorganizing the particle field of reality around you. These practitioners study for decades, trying to achieve what you do by breathing. They need rituals and tools and specific moon phases. You just need to remember who you are. That's what terrifies them. Your power isn't dependent on any external system that can infiltrate or corrupt. It comes from a direct connection to source consciousness that bypasses all their carefully constructed hierarchies. Some of you are discovering unsettling truths about your family. Right now, documents that don't add up, stories that have holes, people who raised you but might not be who they claimed. This isn't random paranoia. Some chosen ones were deliberately placed with families who would suppress their gifts, who would gaslight their intuition, who would program them to doubt their own power. It's strategic. If you can convince a lion it's a house cat from birth, it never learns to roar. But DNA doesn't lie. Your true lineage is activating regardless of what paperwork says. You might discover you have Egyptian ancestry, ancient bloodlines, connections to mystery schools, and wisdom keepers. Or you might find that your spiritual family has nothing to do with biology at all. Either way, the truth is surfacing because it's time. Your assignment requires you to know exactly who you are. The entity attacks haven't stopped. They've just changed targets. Remember that practitioner who tried to bind you with love magic? The one who's now experiencing full psychosis. Those demons they spent years controlling are now controlling them. The voices they try to plant in your head are screaming in theirs. The visions they wanted you to see are haunting their every waking moment. Their family members are watching them deteriorate and don't understand why no medical treatment or therapy helps. Because you can't psychoanalyze a demonic possession. You can't medicate away the consequences of spiritual warfare. This person is seeking exorcisms, going from practitioner to practitioner, begging for help. And everyone keeps telling them the same thing. There's nothing we can do because the forces they're dealing with now are beyond their skill level. They open doors they don't have the purity to close. There's a reason you kept seeing signs and synchronicities even during the darkest attacks. Repeating numbers, animals appearing with messages, songs with lyrics that spoke directly to your situation, dreams that gave you guidance or warnings. That was your protection system communicating with you. You're not alone in this. You have what these practitioners would call a legion of war angels, beings of light that are assigned specifically to protect you on this mission. These aren't symbolic metaphors. These are actual entities operating in dimensions. These dark practitioners can't access. Every time they send an attack, your team intercepted it. Every time they try to curse you, your protection redirected it back to sender. You survive because you have backup. They can't see, can't fight, and definitely can't bribe or trick. The tower that's falling isn't just affecting this one group. This is systemic. Multiple organizations, secret societies, elite circles that have operated in shadow for centuries. They're all experiencing the same disruption. Their spells aren't working like they used to. Their rituals are backfiring. People who were supposed to stay silent are starting to talk. Evidence that was supposed to stay hidden is surfacing. Chosen ones all over the planet are waking up simultaneously. And when they do, they naturally emit frequencies that dissolve dark magic like sunlight on morning frost. You're not fighting this battle alone. You're part of a global activation that was prophesied thousands of years ago. The return of the light bearers, the rising of those who carry ancient truth in their bones. Here's what they don't want you to know about your healing abilities. You have the capacity to heal with your presence, not through complicated techniques or years of training, just by being in your authentic frequency. This is why they desperately need your energy. Some of them are sick, genuinely ill from decades of dark practice and the entities they've hosted. They have diseases that modern medicine can't touch because the root is spiritual. And somehow they know that your energy field could heal them. That proximity to your frequency could reverse what they've done to themselves. This is why some might approach with apologies or peace offerings, not because they're genuinely sorry, but because they're desperate. They need something from you that no ritual can provide. Genuine divine light, the kind that only flows through people who haven't sold their soul for power. Your nervous system was a primary target for good reason. Now, let me put you onto something real. Destiny Engine. I built this because I was done watching chosen ones get dragged through betrayal, isolation, and attacks while their enemies strutted around unchecked. I want to help you accelerate the speed of your divine justice and step fully into your purpose. And the beauty of it, you don't even have to lift a finger. Destiny Engine takes their downfall and flips it into your rise. This isn't another meditation app. It's declassified consciousness technology. The same mind programming tools your enemies once used to install fear, competition, and scarcity. Re-engineered to restore your sovereignty and align you with a cooperative upgraded operating framework. It generates personalized sequences mapped to your divine purpose. The hardest thing you'll do is put on headphones, press play, and watch your enemies keep digging their own grave. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and turn everything they did to break you into fuel for your rise. Link in the description. These practitioners understand anatomy on levels medical schools don't teach. They know the nervous system is like the roots of a tree connecting every part of your being. Disrupt that, and you disrupt everything. Make someone feel constantly unsafe, ungrounded, scattered, and they can't access their higher gifts. They targeted you there specifically to cut off your spiritual downloads, block your intuitive hits, make you question your sanity, but your nervous system is stronger than they calculated. Maybe you did feel dysregulated. Maybe you had moments of intense anxiety or unexplainable fear, but you didn't break. And now that you understand what was happening, you can actively strengthen those pathways, ground yourself, protect your energy field. You're not imagining the attacks. You're surviving them and learning to thrive despite them. There's something about your intellect that goes beyond normal intelligence. You know things you were never taught. You understand concepts the first time you hear them that took others years to grasp. You can see patterns in chaos, find solutions to impossible problems, navigate complex situations with ease that baffles people around you. This isn't arrogance. This is ancient soul wisdom. You've lived many lifetimes, learned countless lessons, and you brought that accumulated knowledge with you into this incarnation. These practitioners study ancient texts, trying to access what you access naturally. They memorize rituals and symbols, try to connect to frequencies you embody without effort. Your intellect, your consciousness, your ability to perceive reality from multiple dimensions simultaneously. That's the true magic they're trying to steal. Some of you are discovering something that sounds impossible, but it's absolutely real. Trumpad and Pekiel. You have the ability to visit different dimensions while you sleep. Your consciousness doesn't just rest at night. It travels. You're being trained in other realms, receiving instruction from guides and teachers who operate beyond physical limitations. This is why some mornings you wake up exhausted. Even though you slept 8 hours, you weren't resting. You were working, fighting battles in astral spaces, learning advanced spiritual technology, receiving downloads that integrate into your waking consciousness gradually. These practitioners know about astral travel, but they can't access the dimensions you're visiting. Those spaces require a level of purity they lost access to long ago. Your night work is just as important as anything you do during the day. There's something specific about weather that relates to your gifts. You might have noticed that storms seem to follow you or clear when you need them to. That's not imagination. Some chosen ones carry the ability to influence weather patterns through their emotional and energetic states. This is ancient technology that mystery schools spent centuries trying to master through ritual. You do it naturally because your consciousness is entangled with the electromagnetic field of the planet itself. These practitioners have been trying to control weather through technology and dark magic. Meanwhile, you're shifting atmospheric conditions just by being in alignment with your highest frequency. They study what you embody. They manipulate what you harmonize with organically. The final phase of this battle is already won, but must still be walked through. Trandy, here's what that means. In the spiritual realm, the outcome is already determined. Light 1, truth prevailed. These dark structures collapsed. But we exist in a dimension where time moves linearly, where causes must produce effects, where seeds must grow before harvest. So you'll see this victory manifest in stages. First, internally, you'll feel the shift in your own energy, the lifting of oppression you didn't realize you were carrying. Then in your immediate environment, people who were problems will remove themselves. Situations that were stuck will suddenly resolve. Then you'll see it in the largest world. Arrests, exposures, systems crumbling, truth revelations. But don't wait for external validation to claim your victory. You already won the moment you survived their best attacks and stayed standing. Let me tell you what happens next, because they're already shifting strategies. Since elimination failed and you're not falling for initiation, they'll try isolation. They'll attempt to make you feel crazy, alone, like nobody would believe what you've experienced. They might use people close to you to suggest you're paranoid or delusional. They might arrange for situations that make you question your own perception. This is psychological warfare combined with spiritual attack. Stay anchored in your truth. You don't need anyone else to validate what you know. Your body knows. Your soul knows. The evidence is in how everything they threw at you failed. The proof is in you still being here, sane, powerful, and getting stronger every day. There's a specific protection you need to maintain going forward. Not everyone who approaches you with friendliness has good intentions. Some are scouts. Some are sent to gather information, find weaknesses, report back. The people who suddenly want to get close to you, who seem intensely interested in your life, your practices, your beliefs, screen them carefully. You're not being paranoid. You're being wise. Trust your discernment. If something feels off about someone, there's probably a reason. Your intuition has been sharpened through this battle. It's detecting threats before they fully manifest. Listen to it. A chosen one who learns to honor their gut instinct becomes nearly impossible to infiltrate. Some of you are going to be offered things that sound too good to be true. Sudden opportunities, unexpected connections to influential people, offers of wealth or position that seem to solve all your problems. Examine everything carefully. These practitioners are expert manipulators. They know how to package poison as medicine. They'll offer you exactly what you want with strings attached. You can't see until you're already entangled. This doesn't mean reject all good things that come your way. It means use your discernment. Check the energy behind the offer. Who benefits? What's the real cost? Is this aligned with your highest path or a detour designed to neutralize your mission? The universe will provide for you abundantly, but those blessings will feel clean. They'll come with peace, not pressure. Your DNA is activating codes they've tried to keep dormant in humanity for millennia. You might be experiencing physical symptoms, headaches, fatigue, strange sensations in your body, disrupted sleep patterns with vivid dreams. This is an illness. This is upgrade. Your physical vessel is being rewired to handle higher frequencies, to anchor more light, to embody the fullness of who you came here to be. These dark practitioners fear this activation above almost everything else. Because once enough people wake up and activate their divine DNA, the frequency on the planet shifts so dramatically that their darkness can't survive here. You're not just saving yourself. You're part of a collective ascension that's transforming human consciousness itself. There's a conversation happening about you in rooms you'll never sit in. Trumpadini meetings where your name, or at least your energy signature, is being discussed. They're trying to figure out who you're connected to, what lineage you belong to, how you slipped through their surveillance systems. Some of them think you're part of a counter-organization. Some think you're an undercover operative from a rival group. The truth that you're just a sovereign being with intact divine connection doesn't compute for them. They can't fathom that level of natural power because they've been disconnected from Source for so long they forgot it exists. Let them speculate. Let them waste resources trying to categorize you. Every moment they spend confused is a moment they're not attacking. The truth about what they've been doing is going to come out in ways that shock the mainstream. Information is already leaking. Whistleblowers are gaining courage. Evidence is being compiled. The full scope of child trafficking, energy harvesting, ritual abuse, identity theft on spiritual and physical levels. It's all going to surface. When it does, people who called you crazy will go silent. People who dismissed your warnings will have to face uncomfortable realities. You're not responsible for waking them up or making them believe. Your job was never to convince anyone. Your job was to stand in your truth, maintain your frequency, and survive long enough to see the dawn. You're doing that. Everything else is bonus. Here's what they truly can't understand about you. You have joy. Despite everything you faced, every attack, every betrayal, every dark night of the soul, you still find reasons to smile. You still see beauty. You still believe in love and goodness and the potential for humanity to evolve. That right, there is power they can't touch. They live in bitterness, paranoia, constantly looking over their shoulders, trusting no one, afraid of the very forces they worship. You're free in ways they gave up lifetimes ago. Your happiness, your peace, your ability to be at ease, even in chaos. That's the real magic. That's what draws people to you and repels darkness. Simultaneously guard that. Protect your joy. It's more valuable than any ritual or spell. The infrastructure they built to control humanity is crumbling, and you're watching it happen in real time. Financial systems showing cracks. Governments losing credibility. Media narratives that used to work now getting questioned. Medical authorities being challenged. Educational systems being reformed. Every structure they infiltrated and corrupted is being exposed and transformed. This process is messy. It looks like chaos, but chaos is just order reorganizing itself into a higher pattern. You're living through the death of an old world and the birth of a new one. Your role isn't to force this transition. Your role is to be the frequency holder, the anchor point for new Earth energy, the demonstration that another way is possible. There are younger souls watching you who will learn from your example. Children being born now. Children who are already here, but still forming their understanding of the world. They're observing chosen ones like you to see how to navigate spiritual warfare with grace. They're learning that you can be powerful without being cruel, that you can defend yourself without becoming what attacked you. You're setting templates for the next generation of light warriors. Every time you choose love over fear, truth over comfort, integrity over advantage, you're showing them the path. This is legacy building on a soul level. Your ascension is inevitable at this point, not in some distant future. Now you're already in the process. Every attack you survived was an initiation you passed. Every lie you saw through was a level of discernment you mastered. Every binding you broke was a liberation that upgraded your frequency. You're not the same person you were when this started. You've been forged in fire and emerged as something they have no category for. An ascended master walking in human form. A bridge between dimensions. A living portal for divine frequency. Own that. Step fully into that power. The time for playing small or doubting yourself is over. The apologies that may come will not all be genuine. Some people will approach you with regret in their eyes and manipulation in their hearts. They'll say they were wrong. They didn't understand. They want to make amends. Some of these apologies will be sincere. Others will be Trojan horses. People sent to gain access, to lower your guard, to position themselves for another attack. This is where your gift of discernment becomes crucial. You can forgive without reconciling. You can release without reconnecting. You can offer grace from a distance. Not everyone who apologizes has earned their way back into your inner circle. Protect your energy. Your peace isn't a rehabilitation center for people who chose darkness. There's a wealth transfer coming that's bigger than money. Yes, financial abundance is flowing your way. Inheritances that were stolen or hidden, opportunities that were blocked, resources that were redirected. All of it is being restored with interest. But the real wealth is knowledge, spiritual technology, ancient practices, healing modalities, creative gifts. You're about to receive downloads of information that people pay thousands to learn, except you'll get it directly from source. You're about to remember skills you mastered in other lifetimes. You're about to connect with teachers and guides who will accelerate your evolution exponentially. This is the inheritance that was always yours. This is what they try to keep you from claiming. The final thing you need to understand about this whole situation is this. You're not just defending yourself. You're dismantling centuries of carefully constructed control systems simply by being who you are. Your authentic frequency is dissolving their spell work. Your presence is breaking their curses. Your light is exposing their darkness. You don't have to do anything aggressive or vengeful. You just have to stay in your power. Trust your path and let divine justice handle the rest because it is handling it. That practitioner losing their mind isn't random. That's direct karmic return. Those exposures that are coming aren't coincidence. That's divine timing. That tower falling isn't chaos. That's orchestrated demolition of everything built on lies. The war is over. Chosen one, you won the moment you survived what was designed to destroy you. Everything happening now is just the physical realm catching up to the spiritual victory that's already complete. Walk forward with confidence. You're not fleeing from enemies. You're ascending toward destiny. They're not chasing you. They're scrambling in the rubble of their collapsed kingdom while you rise into yours. The cult that saw you as a threat was right to be afraid. Not because you're coming for them, but because your very existence proves their whole system is built on lies. And truth always outlasts deception. Stand tall. You've earned every bit of peace that's coming your